Every household has a problem or two, and that's fine, it's normal. After all, it takes a lot of work and a lot of time and dedication to grow a family that's full in love, in loving, and that doesn't harbor any darkness. And only from these families will the best possibilities be then available for you in your growth in spirituality as well as the one of your children. Welcome back. Today I want to talk about something that's been on my mind for a long time and probably yours as well, and that is breaking the cycle of trauma. Specifically, how we can prevent our past traumas from affecting our families in the future. As someone who's gone through it myself, I know how hard it is to let go of that pain and those memories and those habits. But I also know how important it is to not let your past define who you are today. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about the principal types of traumas and how to deal with them. Scarcity/poverty. Ideally, don't create life if you cannot sustain that life by your own means, and don't leave it to your parents or your grandparents or from people externally to help you. Make sure that you have your own means to help your child if you're going to bring it into life. However, let's say that you do it regardless and you're not in the best positions, right? You struggle through life and it's hard to give your kid everything he wants. Well, that's fine. Just make sure that the kid doesn't rot in that mindset of the current situation you're in. You know, most people that are born poor usually stay poor. And that's because of this actually aspect right here. They don't know how to make it out of that place. They don't know what kind of mindset they must have to be different to make it out. So whatever you do not install because of your own situation, your own mistakes or circumstances, despair or nihilism into them. The next trauma is loss. This can cause trauma when they've developed a coexistence with something, and it only happens when they don't feel full in themselves, when they feel like they need something external, when they don't feel complete. And I know many adults feel that way now, so it's hard to maybe make it right for your child. But if a kid feels like he needs coexistence or has coexistence with something, it's a poor reflection of your parenting. So what you must do is that you must make your child feel loved. And I mean really, really loved. Only through warmth will that be integrated, that fullness, that completion be completed in their own self. Another one that's not directly connected, but I really wanted to mention because people don't talk about it, is overly consenting your child or rotting him too much, or overprotecting them as well. Because when you do this, they will develop anxiety or agoraphobia when they are dealt with real society, real people that won't listen to them, and they'll become also very unlikable to people because they will think, I can talk however I want to whomever I want and I am the king of the world. However, we know that that's not how things are when you step out the door and go outside. Look, the solution for this is to let them deal with hardships on their own and don't protect them. Look, if you're worried, you can keep an eagle's eye from far away and be there to protect them if they need it. However, they must overcome obstacles by themselves, or at least have the sense that there was no protection. You can stand from afar and be protecting, but make sure that they deal with things by themselves. And look, I know it sounds difficult, but it's something you need to be mentalized for if you have a baby. And it's hard, but it's your responsibility. And sometimes let them fail, failure causes growth, so yeah. Lastly, the obvious one will be abuse. This can be mental, physical, and psychological abuse. Look, just because you got beat as a kid doesn't mean that you can do the same to your children. I'll release a video about the fallacy of discipline that a lot of people use for the argument, and I will explain how it really works. I will touch on physical abuse maybe more in length in another video, but I'll focus more on mental and psychological because it's less obvious. I'm going to actually discuss my own personal life here to give you a proper example that I can talk about with clarity. For context, we were raised in a single mother house with 3 boys, so it was quite stressful for her. And I was always the pillar of that ever crumbling family. I'm the youngest one, and I was always in between the crossfire. I can say that I was innocent 99% of the time, just because I wasn't as intrepid as my brothers. I was scared to act out, scared to be hit. They'd complain about one another to me, and the other one again onto me. Always unloading and unloading. I felt empty most of my life. Up until recently, a few years ago, things have started to change for me, which are great. Praise be to God. This isn't something I've shared ever really before. And yeah, it came from a lack of empathy. No one really cared how I was at home. Nobody ever asked. I was a kid with tremendous charisma despite everything, or maybe probably thanks to all of that, since I developed huge people-pleasing skills at home. And whenever a friend showed interest in me or a girl was being nice to me, I was always suspicious deep down and unexpectant. And my advice to not let another kid go through this, right? Because I turned out pretty well, I like to think at least. So I think I'm very fortunate for that. But it might not happen again to other people, or to the majority of people. So the advice is, don't be selfish. Have self-awareness and don't do that to a kid. Remember, you are a role figure and act accordingly. In my household, it was a shame, single mother, 3 children. So it was difficult for her. You can kind of understand. But try and raise your kid in better circumstances. Thanks for watching, and remember, you are not defined by your past. If you have your own battles to fight, you can win. You have the power to make it different for your future family and for yourself. Don't be afraid to seek help from a friend or anything like that. And remember, there's always someone good nearby. You may just not know them. Much love.